All right, today we're putting in the Thinkware Dash Cam F70. You've seen these in some of the other videos, but we've got one of the Gladiators today that does not have the power up in the top. So we wanted to go over that for you guys that need to run the extra length wire from that. To start, going back to like the other videos, you just kind of pull this down. As you can tell, the little pull spots, when you just give those a good yank, they'll pop right off. That gives you access to the mirror, which is this little part right here. Take a flathead screwdriver and you are going to stick it in that little tiny spot, this top one, and just turn to the left and the mirror will physically turn and drop. Then coming off of that, we've got this part here, where on the versions with the electronics up here and the electronic mirror, and I'll show you that here in a minute, I've actually been attaching them to the back of the mirror part that drops down. I'll show you that. For this one here, because we don't have that, we're actually just doing it straight attachment to here. We're using the double-sided adhesion on that. If that has any type of prom, we'll come back and basically drill 2 small screws just to make that attach. I do have it hanging already just because we just did a test to make sure all of our wires were hooked up and everything was running. But wanted to give you guys the run of the wire. So we're just gonna come back up through here and it's running the back side length that we're gonna make sure it gets tucked in. Come across to get this off. These just pull out. There are 2, I believe 10mm. Use a deep socket and just give this kind of a good pull forward like that, and it opens it up. And then you see we're gonna run that wire down on the inside, through the back, up under. We ran it across and then back up through. And what works to get down here with the wire is if you send a clothes hanger down that way, you can pull that wire back up. We've got our wire coming in and we've connected it in. Now this green wire is something we installed already on a previous for doing a subsystem in the back of this, and I can show you guys that here on a different video. So I just went ahead and cut into that. If we were installing both these at the same time, I would have included this wire into the primary, but instead of having to cut this one, since it was a little short on that end, I just did a second splice in. We're going to heat these up in a second. Your positive wire with the key in the on position is going to be the pink yellow combo, and the black is the neutral. To get this panel here off, there are some other videos. I'll go over it real quick. I used just a small flathead screwdriver, put in the corner, opened up a little bit, stuck this up in, and then just popped it. It pulls straight off and disconnects from your key right here on the little plug. And then the second one is over here. Once you're done pulling that off, this lower piece here has 1 screw dead center, and it just pops off, giving you that access to the back side. Then this part here, you've got the little push button, and we're gonna push that back in to the back of the cigarette lighter here, or 12-volt accessory, just like that. So we'll get this wrapped back up and we'll show you the other mirror here in just a sec. All right, so after putting that wire back together, this just goes clipping back in. Gonna get our Phillips head, or you can use, I believe it's an 8mm. Tighten that part in. And this again is just showing you the reverse order since I didn't have it recording coming apart. On the back side here is 1 plug. Goes in. The other plug comes right here. Looks like I got my hazards. There we go. And as we shove this in, this is just going to push back in nice and steady. Give a good push on it and you're going to hear it clip. And that's all. Alright, so this is the mirror getting pushed up in. As you can see, I've got my screwdriver in it. You're just going to turn it back and it clips into place. So that's how easy that is. And then we're just going to push this back up into place. Alright, and last you see I put that wire coming down with the mirror. It's just enough space that it's not pinching the wire or anything. Slid the camera in, and one of the reasons I like is when you are sitting here driving, you can't really see it. It's in the background, but nice and slim. One thing to consider is if you have a tent layer, in the actual image, you're going to see probably a little bit of a tent line. I'll try to get an image of what that's going to look like. But from the front, that's all you can really see is up in there. I know it's hard with that light shining, but it's kind of behind it. I know it's kind of hard to see from the front through there, but it does come below that layer. And we'll come around to the passenger side just so you can see it from there also. But how that is attached, I just pulled this back piece off and attach 2 small screws or nut and bolts to this, and it just hangs right there. And that is the view that you get from it.